Hey everyone, this is Christy, SaltyStitcherDesigns. I design cross-stitch projects based on my travels, and tonight I am working on the lanterns. So this is what she is going to look like. She's a big, really large project, and she's full coverage, all of the DMC colors. I think over 200 DMC colors, and she's going to be, pretty big, probably 2 feet across by 2 feet, 24 by 24, give or take. So I just wanted to jump on tonight, do a little stitch with me, and I'll probably add a little bit of music in the background, but I'm doing a little bit of fill-in, so it should be fun. So a little bit of info behind this particular pattern. We were traveling in, I think it was Hoi An in Vietnam, and I was walking down the street in Hoi An and noticed just this really lovely alleyway that had all of the lanterns, and just a ton of lanterns. It was really neat. So I took a picture of the entire alley, and took one chunk of it to use for the cross stitch. So oh, there it goes. I have a slightly new setup here. Sorry about that. Slightly new setup. Let's see if it stays now. Let's see. There we go. It should stay now. Yeah, so I used a little bit of that actual picture to create a cross stitch pattern, and I think I've been working on this for a couple years now. Really have not worked on it consistently, or as consistently as I need to. But I'm going to try and keep it. As you can see, I've mounted it on my brand new scroll frame, and the stretcher bars are just, I should pull it out here. The stretcher bars are a little big. Well, I'll show you in a minute. They're a little big for my liking, but we're going to see if I can make this work here. And I usually start my threads with a pin stitch, and I'm stitching this on, I think it's a 22 count or 25 count easy guide fabric. And so I just start it with a quick little pin stitch. It'll stay. And now I'm just stitching across. I also have my magnifying light that I'm using, and I have my tablet that has Pattern Keeper on it. So that's going to work. I think what I need to do is get a better pillow so I can sit up straight. The stretcher bars are, I would say, probably 18-inch stretcher bars. That's all they had left when I purchased this. Probably should have gotten or purchased the smaller ones, but I was a little bit late to the sale. So I have these, so we're going to try and make this work. I think this might get more complicated when I get into the center of the big scroll frame. Let's see if I can. We got that started. Let me see if I can pull you off here and pan out a bit. And this is my setup. Let's unplug. So I have the scroll frame, the stretcher bars. It's a little dark over there. And as you can see, it's pretty big. I've got Pattern Keeper mounted, and this is the floor stand as well. So this is a new setup for me, and I'm seeing a couple flaws here where I need probably a different pillow to support my back, and it's really hard to watch Flosstube while I'm stitching. So we're gonna have to figure something out. But for now, I think this is good. And I do have 2 kittens who are climbing all over the place, so you may see them from time to time. Hopefully they don't jump on the project, but you never know with kittens. So as you can see, I'm going to move you again a little bit. Sorry about that. I don't want to make you seasick, but I have a bunch of fill-in on this red lantern, which is nice. I got out of the confetti. There was a bunch of confetti up there, and now I'm just working on some fill-in here. This would be a great live. I may have to jump on live at some point. This would be a great live one because it's just fill-in, and yeah, I really like this. I really like this floor stand. I think even if I wanted, I think I could actually use it as a standing cross-stitch desk if I wanted to. That might feel a little bit better on my back. We'll have to try that, but. So you can see I'm using 1 thread over 1. With my magnifier, it's fairly easy to stitch. I do stitch 2-handed, so my left hand is underneath the pattern, my right hand stays on top for the most part. And yeah, I think this is going to work out well. The scroll frame that I'm using, I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get it tight enough, but that is not the case. This thing is drum tight. I'm pleased with that. So just to save some thread, I'm doing, stitching all the way across first, and then finishing off the cross. Ooh, sometimes that happens, especially when you're doing 1 over 1. Okay, I am back. I think this pattern is probably going to be a lifetime pattern. It's pretty big. Lots of colors, changes, but I think it's stitching up beautifully here. And I think, so I had to jump off for a work call. But I think we were talking about the setup. And I do like the scroll frame. I like being able to see the entire project where I am. But I feel like my arms are really short and I'm doing a lot of reaching, so I'm gonna have to find probably a more ergonomic way to use this. But it is really tight. I like that. So really easy to see the holes using a magnifier and a light, good light. And I think I've mentioned it on some of my earlier videos about how I like to stitch full coverage. I mean, this is a nice big block that I'm filling in, so that's pretty easy, but what I usually do, I usually work in kind of one block. I'll work in one block, so you have this block here, and you'll see that these are not finished. So what I'll usually do is look up what that thread would be and pull one strand of it and stitch all of the boxes that are that color until the strand runs out. And I'll just usually move down, maybe move across depending on where they are. So it's like a kind of a cross country, but then I'll only use one thread, and then I'll go back and look at the next color and then stitch that thread across, down and across, and so on and so forth. So there is a little bit of a carry, but it's not too much of a carry. And I like the fact that my field of vision is clear. I don't have threads hanging down to get in the way. And I also, I'm not confused when parking because some of the colors are really similar. And with Pattern Keeper, it's a little bit easier to park, but I just like working, it feels cleaner to work with one thread at a time, have it not hanging in the way, especially when you're stitching on such a small count over one. But this looks nice when you take it off a Q-Stap or the Scroll Farm. It really looks nice and fine. It's really coming out well, and you pull away from it a little bit, and the colors are really blending nicely. So yeah, this is a fun one to stitch. So these last couple weeks have been pretty wild in my world. My husband is retiring early from his government job, and we purchased our house south of Orlando, and he moved this week from Maryland to our new home, and I am pretty excited about joining him next year. I also put my retirement letter in for next year, so it's going to be a few months, but I'm really excited. We've been living in different places for about 7 years now, almost approaching 8. So now's I think a great time to take that leap and retire and go start a different chapter. So I am really excited about that. Not excited about moving again, but it's okay. I think so. Most of you know I'm in the Coast Guard, and I've been in for, I guess now, including the academy, 31 years. And I think I've moved close to 13 or 14 times. I have to actually get a official count, but right around there. So it's, I think it's time to just stay in one place for a little while. And I can't think of a better place to do it than Orlando for the time being. There's a lot of opportunities in the area, and yeah, I think it's going to be a fun new chapter. I don't know if you can hear my cats. My boy cat is running around and doing his hunting for the evening. And he likes to hunt and howl, so I don't know if you can hear him. And then I have the kittens next to me. They decided that they were going to try and climb across my scroll frame, so I'm going to have to figure out a good place to put it where they can't crawl on it, jump on it, use their claws to climb over and around and on. My other cats stay away from my stitching, so I really haven't had to worry about that, but these kittens, I'm not so sure just yet. They're very playful. Very playful and into everything, so I have to be careful where I leave needles. Usually put them back in the bag, but this big scroll frame is gonna have to stay out, so I'll find a place to tuck the needles so the kittens don't get into them. They just went for their 3-month visit. I found these two in my backyard in early July, and they were about 6 weeks old. Yeah, I'm a softie. I couldn't leave them outside, and have not been able to find them a home because it's kitten season, and there are kittens everywhere. So if you have any questions about starting full coverage, stitching on full coverage, or how I do my cross-country stitching, let me know in the comments. If you like these stitch with me's and you want to continue to see progress on the lanterns, please like and subscribe. While I do some designing, I really use stitching as a way to give my brain a mental break from what I do every day. I have a fairly high stress job, and I like to use cross stitching as my moving meditation. This pattern, the lanterns, is my one of my WIPGO calls for this month. So my goal is to get about at least 1,000 stitches in the lanterns, and I think with all of this fill-in, I can probably meet and exceed that, because there's really not a lot of color changes. That I can do. If I do get sick of this particular color, I can probably, hopefully you can see that, I can probably finish over here, continue to move down. Let's pan out a little bit. Continue to move down and fill out the sides, and fill in here a little bit of confetti if I get bored with some of that. I can also move over into the greens if I want. That's up here, up in here. So I think I have options where I can continue to move across now that it's on the big scroll frame and not in the scroll frame and not in the hoop that I have it. I never end up traveling with these, so I think the scroll frame is going to work out with this one. I have 2 binders worth of DMC thread and another bag full of the spares, and so I never end up traveling with this piece. So anyway, put your questions in the comments. Maybe the next time I do this, it'll be I'll do a live session, and I can probably read your comments during that. But yeah, let me know if you like the lanterns. Let me know if you're working on a full coverage as well, if you have any questions. I really enjoy the process of stitching on a full coverage. So yeah, this is nice. So I've tried to there we go. All right, making some headway here. So my next trip down south, I'm gonna bring some things from my house in Tennessee down to the new house in Florida. You know, things that I don't want movers to move. I'm just gonna go ahead and move them myself. And I'm taking 2 of the kitties down to Florida. Call it the Great Cat Migration. I have to bring them down there to their new home, and that will allow me to take some time to close things out and just get a head start on that process. Alright, so that's all of the, I think the updates I have this evening. I'm going to turn on a little bit of music here. Maybe try and find a slightly better ergonomic position. So that was unusual. I think I just broke the needle. Alright, I guess that's a sign that we are done for the evening. So I'm going to go find the other piece of needle before Cat does, and we'll come back maybe tomorrow night for more Stitch with Liz. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and maybe consider hitting the bell so you'll get notified of my next videos. Bye!